Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Thursday the 15th of December 2022. In today's Millwall news. Is this bad news? Maybe, maybe not. This is from Luton Town. .co.uk. It's Luton's official website. And this is a story that they put a link to on the Twitter post saying we need your help. Saturday snow shoveling volunteers needed! Exclamation mark. That's what it looks like right now, covered in snow. Let's have a read of this. What's going on? They're messing us around again. So they moved the game from Saturday 3 o'clock to Sunday 12 o'clock, and then they changed the kickoff time to 11:30. And now, is it going to get snowed out? Well, let's have a read. If there are any hatters with spare time on their hands this Saturday morning, please grab a shovel and a wheelbarrow and come along to the Kenny? I think that's what they call Kenilworth Road. The Kenny. To help the ground staff prepare for the Millwall game. We are seeking volunteers to clear the snow from the covers that have been left laid, protecting the pitch from freezing ahead of Sunday's match. Okay. So that doesn't sound okay. So they put covers down because they knew there was going to be frost. And there's snow on top of the covers, so they just got to get that off and then roll the covers off, and then we should be good to go. Anyone who can help is asked to meet in the Millwall Road car park, where you will be able to park from 9:45 for a 10 a.m. start. There will be refreshments including bacon butties and hot toddies on offer for anyone who is able to lend a hand in preparation for the live Sky encounter, which kicks off at 11:30 a.m. on Sunday. Your help is always appreciated, Has. And if you are able to, please just bring a shovel, a wheelbarrow, warm clothes, and plenty of festive cheer. Thank you, and come on, you hatters. So didn't sound as bad as it is. They've got the covers down, so that's all right, isn't it? Covers, I don't know. We've got undersoil heating, and we've had undersoil heating for 25 fucking years. We're a little team in South East London, and we managed to do that. But here we go. They do not have undersoil heating. They have covers that they've apparently put on the pitch, and the covers are covered in snow. And generally, in the past, when you've had pitches that are pitches that have had a cover put on them, and then the cover gets taken off, they're not in the best of conditions underneath. Obviously, the grass has been denied whatever little sunlight there is, so I'm sure it's going to be patchy and bobbly and not the best, as long as it's not frozen. Because if it's frozen, the game's going to get called off. Now, obviously, because we've got this early start, 11:30 a.m. How are they going to play it? Are they going to keep the covers on? I don't think there's any more snow forecast. I reckon it's going to rain on Monday and Tuesday, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, and it's going to be warmer. So we're basically just waiting for that rain to come and melt all this snow. But obviously, this game is on Sunday, which is before then, so it's still going to be cold. Do you think they'll leave the covers on overnight, Saturday and Sunday? Take it off Sunday morning, and give it like an hour of sunshine from like 9 to 11. And hopefully it won't get called off now. So obviously the game is on Sky. This is from livefootballontv.com. And it's all the championship games on the TV. And obviously Sunday, 18th of December, Luton versus Millwall. It's on Sky. You would think that because it's on Sky, that it will go ahead. I mean, they'll find a way. But you never know, because look how much football Sky I've got on now. And if you notice, the Saturday kickoffs at 3 o'clock, they're all on Sky. They're all on the red button, which is weird. That's generally not allowed. You're not allowed to broadcast football games between 3 and 5 o'clock on Saturday because they're trying to get the people to go to the games. I think now this is the way of the future. By the way, this is what they're trying to do. This apparently the next TV deal is going to have this built into it. So you could have a season ticket for your couch to watch Millwall on television. You can have one for home games, you can have one for away games, you can have one for both. So it's just like, what is it like? All the TV programs. If you still watch TV, you got Disney Pluses, you got Paramount Plus, all of that jazz. So instead of paying Sky whatever 50 quid a month, you'll pay Millwall 50 quid a month, and you'll be able to watch all the Millwall's games, that kind of thing. So, but I think because of the train strike, which is absolute, it's really messing things up for everyone, especially during the Christmas party period. I mean, it's absolutely decimating some businesses and stuff. I think that's why they did this, because last time on the last train strike, they let a couple of the teams who had really long journeys sell match passes. Like I said, you're not allowed to broadcast games between 3 and 5. They let them do it, and now they're doing this. They're letting Sky put all of the 3 o'clock Saturday games on your red button, so you can have your pick and choose what you want. So, like I said, this is the way of the future. This is how they want it to be. This is a little glimpse into the future. So get used to it. But this weekend only, you can watch basically all of the championship games on television because of the train strike, or the train drivers going on strike. So there you go. And of course, we're on Monday, Boxing Day, 12 o'clock, and the club have actually laid on more coaches. They've had a pretty heavy demand for coaches above and beyond what they put on, which is kind of weird. See, there's no public transport on Boxing Day. A lot of fans want to go to that game, and they don't mind getting on the coach for it. It's not the it's technically still in London, I suppose, Watford, but it's not really, is it? So you could probably justify a coach that. It's not like when the Crystal Palace fans got a coach from Selhurst Park to the Den. I mean, that was comical, that was, but this makes a bit more sense, especially because it's on the Boxing Day. But there you go. Just wanted to share that with you. Now, moving on to this from southwarknews.co.uk. Millwall boss calls for patience ahead of January transfer window. The Lions are expecting to bring in 1 or 2 more players after announcing the signing of Aidomo Emakhu. So, we've already got that done. I told you about that before. It was confirmed yesterday by Millwall. Deal's been done. January transfer window opens in January, and it's the 14th of December, and we already signed some. Apparently, we may or may not have signed the lad from Metropolitan Police, Josh Kia, which I told you about as well. He's another young one. So Gary Rowett has played down Mill's business ahead of the January transfer window as he looks to bolster his squad for the second half of the season. The Lions are determined to add 1 or 2 new faces into their squad next month, with the signing of 19-year-old forward Aidomo Emakhu from Shamrock Rovers officially announced on Wednesday afternoon. However, Rowett has claimed that his side are no closer to completing any more deals, explaining that recruitment meetings are still ongoing as to who they want to bring into the Den in January. Reports have linked Mill with another bid for Hibernian centre-back Ryan Porteous, who is set to leave Easter Road after rejecting a new deal. While supporters are keen for the Lions to bring in a striker and a winger to improve their depth in the final third. Yeah, at the time I told you about that. I don't know if you saw the video on that one. Hibernian put on their Twitter that Ryan Porteous would not be signing a new deal, which is kind of weird, isn't it? Why would you announce that? That's like private business. Obviously, the reason why they're announcing it because they want bids to come in January because they don't want to get absolutely fuck all for him like we did for Jed Wallace. They want to actually get some money for him, so he could be on the move in January. But then it's up to him. He can just say, "Yeah, no, I'll stay here, thank you very much, and I'll sit here for 4 months, and then I'll leave at the end of the season for free." I think the recruitment team do their diligence in their work and we start to look at players, he told me. We contact players' agents and speak to the players' clubs. Although that's not something I worry about too much. Obviously Alex will do the main bulk of that. For us it's really about identifying what we need and about the club, trying to find the relevant positions and the relevant players really. Similarly, Rowett refused to confirm or deny whether other rival clubs have inquired about any of Millwall's players, although he said it was a little bit early for contact to be made surrounding potential deals. It remains to be seen as to whether or not any members of the first team squad could be sold next month, although the Lions are likely to loan out a number of their youngsters as they look to gain valuable experience. So in terms of players leaving, really only heard the rumours about Glasgow Rangers coming for Jake Cooper. So in terms of signing Ryan Porteous, I think he is left-footed. Is it terms of Ryan Porteous coming in and Jake Cooper going out? Would that be beneficial? Jake Cooper seems to be a bit of a fan's favourite then, so I'm not sure that will be liked by many fans. But if it's a lucrative deal in terms of if we get more money for Jay Cooper than we spend on Ryan Porteous, and Ryan Porteous ends up being an adequate replacement for him, then sure, why not? It remains to be seen as to whether or not any members of the first team squad could be sold next month, although the Lions are likely to loan out a number of their youngsters as they look to gain valuable experience. I'm not going to sit here and rattle off who's rang up and who hasn't. Those things are private. I think it's a little bit early for teams to ring up to try and do deals with players. It's one where the agents get busy in the background. Then come January, you usually have an idea of who you might be able to get and who you might not be able to get. There's no one rule. There's no one thing. Obviously, normally things only appear in January, but there's also a bit of prep work coming before that. Indeed. Well said, Gary. So, talking about the loans, here we go. So, players in, players out. Mill set out loan plans for talented youngsters to gain experience. This is also from the southernnews.co.uk. Isaac Olofi is one of a number of players who could leave the Den on loan in January. I think it's almost guaranteed, hasn't it? He hasn't been on the bench. I think he's kind of stalled and he's starting to go backwards, personally. The last under 21 game I saw him in, he wasn't exactly firing on all cylinders. And you kind of get the feeling that he kind of peaked with that Cambridge Cup game, and that was his chance to push on, and it didn't really happen. And he's like nearly 24 years old now. I think if you do the maths, quick math, he got like 6 or 7 seasons left in him. That's not long. Like his career isn't halfway through. So he needs to get moving, or I think he could very well find himself released next summer. But here we go. So Millwall have started to put plans into place to loan out some of their star youngsters in the January transfer window. At the moment, Alex Mitchell and Shamar Lawson are the only 2 players out on loan. Former Scottish Premiership side St Johnstone, while the latter has recently joined the National League outfit Torquay United. What? No, he hasn't. He's joined Maidstone United. What? Yeah, Shamar Lawson is at Maidstone United. Manager Gary Rowett has said that other youngsters will follow in their footsteps next month as they look to gain experience of senior football before returning to the Den next summer. Each player will have a mixed plan on what we like them to do, he told me. I think some clearly need to get out and play men's football, others will benefit from staying in our system and continuing to work. There's a mixed view on all these players, and each individual will have their plan what we would ideally like to happen. Rowett has previously said that striker Isaac Lovely will look to leave on loan next month after a move to a League One club fell through on deadline day over the summer. 23-year-old has 3 successful spells at Sutton United and 1 at St Johnstone, but has so far failed to break into Millwall's first squad. Meanwhile, goalkeepers Ryan Sanford and Joe Wright both returned to South Bermondsey after their respective spells at Maidstone United and Bath City cut short through shoulder injuries. Sanford will likely be sidelined for 4 to 5 months, according to Stones boss Hakim Morettin, while Joe Wright is back in training with the Lions ahead of another loan move elsewhere next month. Yes. They both ended up with shoulder injuries at different sorts of severities. They're both rehabbing as we speak, and hopefully when they're both back fit, we'll be able to get them back out playing a little bit more football. They've both done well out on loan and shown that they're good young keepers with a lot of potential. Yeah, keepers do develop later in life, so it's kind of good to get them on the books and loan them out and get them some game time and get them improving, because it does take a while for the keepers. But in terms of Isaac Loffey, I mean, really does need to get going, but doesn't he? So yeah. And talking of youngsters, obviously going out on loan, Garrett responds to calls for young Millwall attacks to be called up. Again, this is from Southwark News, 3 in a row from them. Supporters have been keen to see the likes of Abdul Malik named on the Lions bench in the Championship. Well, here's the thing. After the game, I think it was the Wigan game, or it may have been the Sunderland game, Gary Rowett said, I don't have a lot of attacking options coming off the bench. Well, yeah, because you're playing your 2 centre forwards that you have. Your plan A is Emakhu, your plan B is Tom Bradshaw, your plan C is Vogelsammer. So you're playing your plan B and your plan C at the same time. So what can you change? Ideally, you would think Vogelsammer should be on the bench. And then when Bradshaw gets a bit, if it's not working for him or he gets a bit knackered, then you can bring Vogelsammer on. But yeah, so Garrett himself said, like, I've got no attacking options on the bench. And then we're like, there's one there. His name's Abdul Malik. He's not that bad. I'm pretty sure if you get him and Zion Fleming playing off each other, they do pretty well. They're both good with the ball, feet. So let's have a read of this. And Gary Rowett believes that there may be too much pressure on Millwall youngsters to change games off the bench in the Championship amidst calls for them to be included in the matchday squad. The Millwall bosses regularly claim that he needs more attacking depth with substitutes. Yes, he did say that in order to change games late on. In Saturday's draw against Wigan and Fleck, Tyler Berry was the only forward Rowett had available on the bench. Emakhu still ruled out with a knee injury. Despite this, he told News Den that he would prefer not to bring in any of the club's youngsters such as Isaac Loffey, Abdul Malik or Romain Esse. Instead, opting to stick with the players he has in his senior squad ahead of the January transfer window. The players with the first team at the moment are the players we've got in the squad, he told him. I don't necessarily think it's easy as bringing in a young lad up to be the answer. We've got quite a few senior players. I think it's about having a right blood and replacement in those areas to strengthen the last part of the game. I don't think that's easy as putting an 18-year-old up there to see if he can score a goal at the end of the game. I think there's a little bit more to it than that. Millwall under-21s are currently sat in second place in the Professional Development League, our top scorers in the entire division. As a result, Rowett and manager Kevin Nugent are both keen to keep the squad together as they look to challenge Bristol City for the league title. Yeah, so they obviously have something about them. They are free scoring. They are that in part is because of the personnel that they have, especially Abdul Malik, main essays just coming into it. So it's a shame that we got this cup game next month against Sheffield United. You would think if it was against a lesser team, you might have an option to try some of these lads out, but I thought when he played them against Brøndby, they looked alright. They looked pretty decent to me. Romanes, he looked alright. Aidomo Emakhu looked alright now. The league looked alright. I mean, they didn't look out of place, so why are they not even being considered? But they are not, and it looks like, as we've just seen in the previous story, that some of them may be out on loan. Not only that, we've got the 19-year-old Aidomo Emakhu, who has been playing men's football for Shamrock Rovers, mostly coming off the bench. He scored goals in Champions League qualifiers, but in Europa League group games. So, is he? What's going to happen to him? Is he going to be in and around the first team squad? Is he going to be in and around the under 21 squad? What's the point of that? For him going to be playing first team men's football, Shamrock Rovers, which is top team in the Irish League, and then coming and playing in the under 21s. Maybe he goes out on loan. Maybe he's just come in. Maybe he goes out on loan. Maybe somewhere close in London, Leyton Orient or somewhere like that. I don't know. Maybe AFC Wimbledon. I don't know. But we will see. It's going to be interesting January transfer window, especially in the position that we're in. Fighting for the playoffs, we're there or thereabouts. If we get a win on Sunday, we'll definitely be up there. And it's a situation now. Like, what do we do? Stick or twist? Do we invest in the squad? We definitely need a striker to replace Emakhu. So, and that could be the difference. The attacking options that we don't have, that could be the difference that makes us finishing the promotion places or not. So here we go. Talking of Aidomo Emakhu, there he is in the middle, number 22, getting stuck in there. You can see there. Look at his thigh muscles. Oh my god, very well defined. That is something to behold. There, certainly put the time in on the training ground. So Mill's new striker signing reveals summer switch was close. This is from London News Online, the South London Press's site. Aidomo Emakhu has revealed that he was close to joining Mill in the summer. The 19-year-old striker is moving from Shamrock Rovers on January 1st after the two clubs confirmed a deal. But Emakhu has already hooked up with the Lions and started training with them at the start of the week. Asked about the South London club's intent to land him, the Republic of Ireland under-19 international told Millwall TV. Back in January, I heard there was speculation I was playing for Shamrock Rovers at the time. I thought, I just keep doing what I'm doing. That's what got me here in the first place. It came back around again in the summer. The interest is growing. I was close around the summer transfer window, but nothing concrete yet. I knew it was going to get done eventually. I just can't wait to pull on a Millwall jersey and get going. Show the fans what I can do, whether that's for the under 23s or the first team. First team opportunities are going to come. So yeah, they haven't told him yet that the under 23s has been changed to under 21s. I know it's hard to keep up with; they keep changing it, but yeah. So he's just I think he realises it's a bit of a step up to go from League of Ireland to Championship. A number of other players have done it recently, so it's not an impossible jump. it's probably the same kind of jump from conference to championship, which is kind of what we had with Steve Morrison and Lee Gregory. So it can be done. Not impossible, but we will see. We will see. Very interesting to see what happens now. So we are going to finish up with this. This is from millfc.co.uk. The Lions bring festive spirit to Lewisham Hospital. And there you see the players wearing masks, or Murray Wallace can't fit over his big snoz. Got a big nose in him, Murray Wallace. Absolutely massive honker there. 7 Millwall players visited Lewisham Hospital on Wednesday afternoon to spread Christmas joy. The annual trip saw Zion Fleming, Murray Wallace, Callum Stiles, Scott Malone, Jamie Shackleton, Charlie Cresswell, and Connell Truman deliver gifts to patients and staff at the hospital and bring smiles to people's faces ahead of Christmas Day. The calendars, footballs, and signed posters were delivered, as well as the chance to take a photo with the players and talk about all things Millwall. The family are always so close to your heart, especially around Christmas, said defender Murray Wallace. To come down here and see people going through a really tough time is difficult. That's why we want to visit and try and bring cheer, gifts to make people smile. Simon Fleming joined for his first hospital visit as a Millwall player. It is just a few hours of our time that can live in the children's memory for a few years, even just over Christmas. That's why it's worth it. The club would like to wish everyone at Lewisham Hospital a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Take a look through a handful of the best images from the visit. These jackets are pretty tasty, aren't they? They're Hummel jackets though, but they don't appear to have a Mill badge on them. Why is that? I don't know. Is that they're pretty decent, aren't they? Like puffer jackets, not bad. So yeah, here we go. They're all masked up. So they're all wearing the masks, but no one else is. Which, to be honest, is kind of weird. But oh, he's not happy, is he? Oh, he doesn't know what's going. Oh, there's someone with a mask. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. There you go. FIFA 19. They got FIFA 19 down there. Jesus. There you go. And we're back around again, and there you go. So seven Millwall players. No Snow White, but 7 Millwall players went down to Lewisham Hospital to visit some kids and bring them some presents. So nice touch there from Millwall. And on that note, thank you for watching, and